Good morning. Rise with the sun. I kept meditating on that card after, because that was one of the three that came up from the How to Be a Wildflower deck by Katie Daisy. Maybe we'll pull some cards from that again, but I felt like I at least wanted to come back, and this one particularly, and yeah, we need the tonic of wildness. And I guess how those resonate with me, and then we have the bees card, and basically that's using our words and and the way we connect. Is because I brought it up in a couple of readings ago. I might have even said it yesterday about how I find myself making other things more important than what are the true priorities of my heart sometimes. I don't know, you know what I mean? We busy ourselves with, we busy ourselves to kind of avoid being in relationship with the people, the situations. We like drag our heels, but yet it's the most important thing to us. Does that dynamic resonate with you at all? We're just kind of scared to engage with life. I find myself in those situations. And so, these are the reasons we hit the snooze button. These are the reasons we don't want to get out of bed, or, we don't feel capable sometimes. But it doesn't take fancy certifications or a breadth of knowledge, or we don't need to be something more than just being present to one another, to our situations, to showing up, to having that vulnerability. And that's the tonic of the wildness. Like, let's get that close to one another. Let's rise and shine. I caught myself doing that in a couple of instances yesterday. And I didn't love that look. I did not love that look. But I allowed myself to feel that pain and the bitterness of having some missed opportunities, and noticing where I overschedule myself and then don't have enough time with the person that I want to be with the most. Sometimes I don't feel, we don't feel maybe equipped to be in that much feeling, right? We didn't get raised, a lot of us didn't get raised with that. With that. So anyway, I just those couple of little shares on some of that, and that's where that King of Pentacles upside down can come in. Like, we just don't feel equipped to meet life. We don't feel worthy to be held by the divine, or to hold the divinity of what's coming toward us. Ooh, that's one that's coming up for me right now. I got a zinger up my back on that one. Woo! Anyways, so we're going to work with the Shadowscapes Tarot by Stephanie Pui-Munn. Barbara Moore did commentary on the booklet that comes with this deck. She also she created the Gilded Tarot with Ciro Marchetti, which we've used in the past. But today we're going to use Shadowscapes. So today is it's not Tuesday. Yesterday was Tuesday. We've got one coming out, Page of Pentacles. So yesterday we had the Fool card come out. Yeah, like being in a beginner place, like especially when things are uncertain for us and we don't know what the next step is or whatever, we can easily go down like a shame and guilt spiral, or just isolate, that kind of thing. But the Page of Pentacles is here to show that, yes, we're in. So that Fool card coming up is on the large scale, always feeling like a beginner, you know what I mean? And that sounds good in theory, right? Oh yeah, I can be a student of life. And then I'm like, oh, I don't know anything about life. How is it that that's true? And I'm 56 years old. So it's how is that true that I'm still in this starting over place? But we are starting over every day. We are learning new things about life every day. The Page of Pentacles is in messages about what we don't know. on the everyday, and but also being willing to, again, that Fool card came up yesterday. The page is here to show us that, we do have an amount of wisdom. I see a little owl, but the owl is down here, right? As opposed to the page being up here. So I do have a little bit of wisdom underneath all of this, but I think it is time to learn new ways of being. It's time to learn new ways of being. Learn about new things, but sometimes the Page of Pentacles can come up and be indicative of having maybe too many. I'm learning about this, and I'm learning about that, and I'm learning about that. This is not learning for learning's sake, right? It's not learning for learning's sake. It's not just pulling in information or giving out information, because this is also communication, regardless, on the material plane, about things that matter. But not everything matters. This is getting messages that maybe we do need to start prioritizing what actually does matter to us. So bringing in those messages that came in prior to me pulling these cards. Yeah. And learning and being okay with being in that learning place. Like, I'm going to an art gallery that really has been down the street forever, and I've never gone. So learning new things, but I'm doing it, I'm doing it in a modicum of time, so I do have time for other priorities, and I don't overtire myself. Like, how do we prioritize so we are literally enjoying it, not just pulling stuff in and just like it landing on us and then we're moving on to the next thing. We want to be able to do things in the amount of time. I'm still recovering from back surgery, so I can't go out and do a bunch of things every day. I can't. And when I do, I feel crappy, truly, and I'm exhausted by a schedule that before I wouldn't have even blinked an eye at. Now I feel it makes me tired. So I'm really careful. I've been forced to get straight on my priorities. So there might be something about your physical health that's coming up, because, the Pentacles is about our health, our bodies. I'm starting my physical therapy program today, right? But I'm going to try to do these things in a way that, that is in a way that's taking care of myself. So take today to learn about how you utilize your time. Is it in your physical, emotional, and mental best interest? And is it serving the things that matter in your life? Getting very clear on what we value. And you should be at the top of your list. You should be at the top. See, that person's at the top. And sometimes, we need the tonic of wildness to say no in order to rise to the occasions that are appropriate for us. And that matter to us. And that we're called to do, because this is also being called to do things, we're not called to do everything. We're not. Six of Wands coming up. This lighting isn't the best today. It's a rainy day here in Washington, D.C., but this is the central card of the reading today. Six of Wands is a card of victory, but again, it can be a card of hubris, a card of doing, oh yeah, I'm victorious, I'm doing everything, look at me. Or we can be a little more humble. This person's wearing a lovely tunic of some sort, but underneath, he's naked, and we're all naked and to recognize that we all are the same underneath the clothes, underneath the things that we do. Six of Wands is an action card, right? Wands are action, things about we're passionate. And this is, to me, I'm picking up that we are understanding and we're learning about the pursuits, the things that we're passionate about that, that make us feel like we're in royalty, that make us feel successful, that make us feel that we're doing well. And some people don't, and this is, again, some people in the typical tarot, this card is depicted by some people, people adulating him, but some people don't always are kind of like, whatever, this guy's a little extra. So there it might be a tendency to go overboard and be extra today. This card, like I said, can be like just stay in your lane, enjoy what you do, choose the things that you're doing today in the right amount, and so that way you're really able to take things in, and not I'm in a way that I'm looking at both of these figures. They're both looking out from some kind of a pinnacle, but these aren't like giant mountains that they've climbed. These are just momentary. And again, these are minor arcana, so this is for the moment. So enjoy the moment. Enjoy what you're learning in the moment. That's where I think that the small successes will be found. And as opposed to, being on top of these pinnacles and, instead of enjoying the moment, don't be and looking, okay, and what's next? And what's next? That kind of is that taking in of information for information's sake and just moving on. We want something, we want what we're taking in to be something that we can build upon and something that will last. That mountain. Something more like this. The stability of what we're building for the future is found in the present. Being very present. And where you have one more card coming out. 10 of Wands, yeah. So yeah, be careful. Think about what you're building. Remember the Queen of Pentacles came up. That King of Pentacles was upside down yesterday. Figure out the cost. Figure out the cost. Bottom of the deck, Four of Swords. So meditation. Consider the cost. If you're feeling overburdened, this is the place to pull back, to decide what really does matter. This is the 10 of Wands. This is picking up loads of things and maybe not being able to carry them to fruition. So instead of beating yourself up about taking on too much, don't use those wands to beat yourself up. Just take stock. This is the taking stock of what really matters and what's underneath her. The Two of Swords. Yeah, then we're making some decisions. And then we have the King of Cups. So the King of Cups is going to be able to take care. Oh, and then the Lovers is at the bottom of the deck. So, these are all, this is if you feel overburdened, it's not just chuck the whole thing. It's let's take some time. Let's maybe reel it back to a place where, how can I fix this situation so it's beneficial to everybody? Right? All right. I love you. Have a wonderful day. Like, share, subscribe on any of the platforms where this will be: YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. Comment, and liking, sharing, subscribing, because that just helps the message get out to people you don't even know. So that's just by interacting a little bit with the messages. It doesn't have to be a big investment. It doesn't have to be a burdensome investment. What was I going to say? Or just share it directly. Share it directly with somebody who you think might need to hear this. Or direct message me on any of those platforms if you want your own private reading. I love you. Have a wonderful day.